I am beating every N64 game, and I mean all of them. The twist is, the next game I play is randomly selected, so I have no clue what's coming next. This is the journey to beating every N64 game. Game number 169, International Superstar Soccer 64. Released in 1997, this game was developed and published by Konami. It's back to another sports game, not too many on this console. The Konami ones haven't been all that great for the most part, but hey, this is a series we haven't played yet. Maybe it's better. I was never into soccer games growing up, but I know nowadays FIFA is the only one around. I know that back in the day there was some debate over whether FIFA or ISS was the better soccer game on the N64. Well, I know my answer. You'll just have to wait and find out, I guess. Oh yeah, and something very interesting happened while I was making this video. You'll see that later. Let's get into it. If the title screen looks familiar, that's because Ronaldinho Soccer is a ROM hack of this. Fun fact, I initially had that game on my list because I thought it was an official release. Somebody had to tell me it's just a big meme. There was a feature to create your own player with just some customization on their face, really. You can adjust their stats, but there's only a limited amount of stat points, so it's more for fun, I think. There were two main modes, World League and International. World League has you play through 70 full matches, which seems like absolute torture, so I opted for International instead. This kind of simulates being in the World Cup. Picking my team was an easy choice. There are so many countries represented, but Brazil is the best. If you want to dominate, you take them. My first match was against the USA. When a game starts, it just shows like an overhead view of all the players lined up, then there's a coin toss to determine who gets the ball first. Let's get into the highlights. USA started with the ball, but it was immediately stolen. Horrible dribbling there. About a minute later, Griffin performs an illegal slide tackle into Ferreira. Don't know how that wasn't a red card, but the yellow does come out. Brazil retaliates with a play near the US goal. Gomez goes for the shot and it's stopped by the goalie. Ayejo follows up but can't connect. Wow. Tensions are high as Ayejo and Herman are desperately battling for possession. Everything is on the line here. This leads into a horrific tackle. These guys are playing the wrong kind of football and Ayejo is injured. I'm sure he's faking it though, cause they always do in this sport. I don't know if this was a shot or a warning sign, but Ewing just gets blasted by the ball here. He's gonna feel that one in the morning. We've got some action next to the USA goal. It goes out of bounds, which leads to a corner kick. This is just beautiful soccer. Barranco follows up directly into the goal, and that's the first point to Brazil, 1-0. You really can't execute better than that, folks. Now the US team driving down the field, Packery goes for the shot, but it's stopped by the goalie. They really want to tie that score up now. But then Brazil answers. The first shot is stopped, but Ferreira gets to the follow-up. No chance at stopping that one. 2-0 Brazil. After stoppage time, we go into halftime, Brazil up 2. USA really needs to evaluate their mindset if they want to come back in the second. Well, it appears the US is keeping up the same strategy by playing dirty. The third illegal tackle of the game. This is going to get you nowhere. Brazil retaliates with an attack on the goal. First shot misses, second shot misses, but then Gomez connects with a sliding kick for the goal. 3-0 Brazil now. Not looking good for USA. Paco then dribbles downfield to the Brazil goal, but it's stopped. They just can't get anything going when it matters. Into stoppage time at the end, the Brazil defense appears to not be paying attention. Paco capitalizes on this lapse in judgment and gets a goal for the United States. However, it's a lost cause at this point. The match ends 3-1 Brazil. What a game, folks. So my next game was against Argentina. I suppose I should talk about how the game actually plays. When you're on defense, the goalie auto-defends for you. It seemed to do a pretty good job for me. I was on difficulty 3 out of 5. Anytime you're on the opponent's side of the field, you can press the shoot button for a shot on goal. It auto-switches to a nearby player for you, so when it got near the goal, I'd usually just spam it, trying to get past the goalie after he dove. However, the computer can do the exact same thing and get a shot in when you have no chance to block it. I think Argentina is one of the better teams in this game stats-wise. If you press the shoot button when on the opposite side of the field, you usually just blast it out of bounds. Despite the goalie usually doing well, occasionally they made some blunders. Look, that one wasn't my fault. He kicked it in himself. For passing, it'll auto-select the person for you to pass to, indicated by the triangles around a player. I found it was pretty good at choosing who I would have liked to pass to anyway. I think you can manually change it though. After getting a third goal scored on me, I figured something was going wrong. Like sure, the USA sucks at soccer, so maybe that's why I won the first game, but being down 3-0? This was not good. As far as I can tell, this game doesn't really have any kind of rubber banding mechanics, so this was scary. Anytime you have to do a corner kick or throw in or something like that, there's a blue arrow to aim. The longer you hold the button, the harder it goes. Corner kicks were great for me to score, but they're rare to get. I needed something better. We ultimately lost this one 4-1. Luckily, you don't have to win every match in this pre-group stage. My next game was against the USA again. Sometimes the auto-player switching can be quite frustrating, although it's rare. Would you let me control this guy, man? Oh my god! It kept switching off of him. It just wasn't letting me switch to the defender closest to the ball. Really feel like I could have made a play there if it cooperated. Even the goalie AI isn't perfect. Like, how's this not offside? Why did you dive? Why the heck did my guy just dive before the shot even happened? That was just bad. This one ended in a draw 3-3. Still in good position to advance though. Next was Argentina for the final preliminary stage match. I looked into the manual for some more advanced controls. When I got scored on, it was usually from a crossing pass near the goal. I figured out you can do that with C left, and it was pretty useful. This one ended in a draw at 3-3 as well. Still in good shape. It showed a little cutscene about how I'd qualified for the International Cup. I think they didn't have the license for the World Cup. Apparently that was like a pre-group stage with my local league or something, cause now I'm actually in a group with Russia, Italy, and Poland. I was still getting a bit frustrated with the game, especially with my goalie making plays like this. Oh my god, you suck. You suck. Finally though, I found the answer I needed. With one of the C buttons you can perform a through pass. For whatever reason, the AI struggles to react to these. Like well over 95% of the time, it'll get through. With this, I had way more chances at shots on the goal. I finally felt like I was in control. I'll take this time to talk about the graphics and audio. I think the graphics look pretty solid. They're going for a more realistic look, and it honestly aged okay. The game runs smoothly, which is the main thing I care about. It feels great to play. For the audio, you just hear the ball being kicked, the crowd cheering, and some English guy with a very enthusiastic commentary.
This could be a chance. What can a fantastic shot? Goal! 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 Let's even the score.
It's really impressive for the time period, I think. I ended the match with Russia in a draw 2-2. You only need to get top 2 in your group, so this wasn't a bad result. Next, I was against Poland, and the refs just weren't calling anything. This guy may as well have stabbed me given how aggressive he was playing. What? He pushed me! Foul! Red card! Like, it was actually insane how bad they were ignoring this Poland aggression. But then when I elbow them in the back of the head, suddenly it's a red card? Come on, man, this is ridiculous. I won this match 3-1. Game 3 of the group was against Italy, and I crushed them. Easy 4-1 win. It showed a little graphic again to say I was now in the International Open, aka the World Cup playoffs. My first round opponent was Bulgaria, of all places. I took them down 4-2. I then had to play Germany, who I beat 6-3. I beat Nigeria 2-1 in the semifinals. And finally, I beat England 1-0 in the World Cup finals. It shows a brief cutscene with your players all celebrating near the goal, then it just cuts to the score like normal. It then shows the team celebrating with the trophy while way too much confetti falls down. My console was letting off smoke from how hard it was trying to render all this. And finally, the credits roll. There is one other interesting mode this game has, the scenario mode. This puts you in situations of past matches and has you overcome some challenge. Like this one where I had to play as Austria and not let Sweden score. Except they scored within the first 5 seconds. Oops. If you beat one, it gives you a little congratulatory message, and I could really see someone spending a lot of time here if they really wanted to master the game. Of course, no sports game is good without a big head mode. Thankfully, this has one. It looks as ridiculous as you'd expect. But yeah, that's about all there is for this one. Game complete. Hey, wait a second. There's 2 games in this title. What gives? That's right, this one had one of those clones. So here's game number 217, Jikkyō World Soccer 3. Released exclusively in Japan in 1997, this game was developed and published by Konami. Okay, since making this video, this has gotten even more confusing. This is a bit of a ramble, but bear with me. I later learned about this Japanese exclusive clone of ISS 64 that I just mentioned. However, there's apparently a Japanese exclusive game I had no idea existed until I was making this video to learn the release date of Jikkyō World Soccer 3. It's called Jikkyō J-League Perfect Striker, and it was released in 1996 exclusively in Japan. It was actually the first ever soccer game on the N64. Basically, this would have predated ISS 64 if it came out in the West. This is crazy. I obtained my initial list of games for this series all the way back in March 2021. I got it from Wikipedia, and at the time it listed 393 total games. The +1 comes from 40 Winks, which was unofficially released in 2019. But one game was apparently missing when I obtained that list, the one I just mentioned, Jikkyō J-League Perfect Striker. I'm not sure how it was, but it was finally added to the page in December 2023. Basically, what I'm trying to say is, this series has failed. There should have been 395 games the entire time. Not only that, I should have played this game before ever touching the one I'm reviewing now. Ugh, I'm not really sure where to go from here. But at some point, I'll have to fit that game in. It kind of ruins the playing game series in order aspect, but what can you do? Can't rewrite the past. Anyway, I was quite excited learning there was another game in the series for this. So I guess now the count is 395 total games? Anyway, back to the video. Well, the main menu certainly looked familiar. You know, other than the fact that I can't read it. So I did the International Cup for this game as well. This time around I decided to play as England. My first match was against Croatia. The thing I immediately noticed is the through pass wasn't nearly as overpowered as before. It seems they realized during testing it needed fixed, and well, now my amazing strat wasn't so amazing. This game has some more advanced controls that I never really got into, but I believe you can curve the ball using the joystick. The old reliable trick of just running up to the goalie and hoping it goes in worked still. Pure skill right there. I was struggling quite a bit without the through pass cheese, but I was managing. Just spam shots until one happens to go through. I tied this one 3-3 after a slight mishap near my own goal. We're not going to talk about that one. But yeah, as far as I can tell, the game plays mostly identically to International Superstar Soccer 64, other than the through pass thing. I'm sure there's some other slight differences with the physics. For me, the main difference is the commentator. The English guy was great, but this Japanese guy is somehow even better.
イングランドどうしても1点が欲しい入れてきたどこにだ取られた失敗出した援護がないビッグチャンス狙ったゴーゴーゴーゴーゴーゴーオーライ待望の一発バンザイバンザイイングランド
What is this? I beat Italy 4-3. This was the pre-group stage friendlies, just like the last one. There's not too much else to talk about with this game. These are the main differences, even the teams are the same. So, I beat Croatia 1-0, beat Italy 2-1, beat the Czech Republic 1-0, beat Uruguay 1-0, beat Nigeria 3-2, beat Brazil 3-2, beat Romania 2-1, beat Yugoslavia 1-0, and then had a rematch with Nigeria in the finals where I won 1-0. It shows that same laggy cutscene with 10 trillion pieces of confetti and everyone celebrating, and then the credits roll. Game complete. So yeah, there you have it, my journey to beating 2 games, International Superstar Soccer 64 and Jikkyō World Soccer 3. These re-releases are weird ones, and I think this has been the least changed game of them. Many games released with updated versions, or released at different points in different regions. I'm just basing mine off that original Wikipedia list. It was 393 when I got it, and now it's 388 with some of these reskins removed. I'm sticking to my original list though, the one I started with. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised with this one. I don't really enjoy soccer, but I had a good bit of fun playing. The controls felt infinitely better than FIFA, and the game ran and looked way better. There's a lot of depth to the controls to make it interesting too. Still though, it's like most sports games. It's only so fun against the computer. Playing in multiplayer is where these shine. If you're looking for a soccer game to try on the N64, then one of the ISS games is where to look. I gave International Superstar Soccer 64 a 4 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 3 out of 10 for difficulty. I gave Jikkyō World Soccer 3 a 5 out of 10 for enjoyability and a 3 out of 10 for difficulty. The Japanese announcer was just so much more exciting. Alright, thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed. We had a randomized marble race to determine which game was next, so here's how that played out. Or skip to the timestamp on screen to skip straight to the game selection. We got 222 games left on the list. Look, International Superstar Soccer. we could get that. Bomberman, Hakurano Augusta Masters, and golf game. Oh my god. Where's a good game? Ridge Racer Cruising USA. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see what happens. Down the marbles go. Absolute chaos at the start. I see Nushitsuri as well as Rampage. Rampage would be fun. Namco Museum. I actually had that game, I think. Maybe I had it on the PlayStation 2 or something? I don't know. We'll see who comes down first. Potentially Rampage. It does look to be Rampage as well as 40 Winks, 64 Ozumo, next Turok. Turok 2. That would be a tough one. Alright, coming down to the comb now. Rampage currently in the lead. No, now it's Blast Corps, a popular N64 title. FIFA 99 not too far behind. WWF No Mercy as well. Blast Corps going in the air. Blast Corps a little out of control, but does land on the bottom path. Safely stays there. San Francisco Rush coming through now. And will San Francisco Rush make it to the goal? No, out of control. Mario no Fotobi. No, WWF. Oh, it's the next WWF game, which I believe is WWF No Mercy. I'm pretty sure people really like that game. All right, the next WWF game. Oh, wait. No, I'm wrong, chat. It's not No Mercy. I am wrong. I've pulled a Steve Harvey.
I will take responsibility for this. It was my mistake. Horrible mistake. Still a great night.
It is actually 2 games. This game was apparently cloned. WWF WrestleMania 2000. And it was released as a duplicate in Japan, Virtual Pro Wrestling 2. So we will be playing these 2 games back to back. But yeah, if you're still here watching, you're awesome. Thank you so much. If you had a good time, consider hitting that like button, or maybe even dropping a subscription. Or hey, maybe even watch another one of these videos that's on screen now. And yeah, see you next time.